This is the Effing One Podcast, Australia's only Formula One podcast with Adam and Luke.
G'day and welcome to Effing One Podcast. It's Australia's only dedicated Formula One podcast as we wrap up the Singapore Grand Prix and we preview the Russian Grand Prix. That's, count them, 2 podcasts for the price of 1. I bet you didn't think when you were hastily contemplating downloading this podcast that you would get such value for money with a free podcast. 2 for the price of 1, Luke. Bam, we're good.
We should charge them double next time.
We're going to have to. We guarantee double the laughs this week.
What?
We guarantee.
Can we guarantee that?
Double the laughs.
Is this a Daniel Ricciardo guarantee?
Correct. In a mildly amusing podcast. That is Effing One Podcast.
Very
so
mild.
Strap yourself in. We are going to go head first, pants down into the Grand Prix. Too much. Sorry. This is a bad way to start.
The right amount of spaz.
Just the right amount of crazy, which is what we do, Luke. Luke, what a Grand Prix. Singapore, Ferrari, they do it again. Surprisingly, a little bit controversial, or was it?
No.
Good.
It was racing.
I didn't think so either.
Leclerc didn't win the race because Ferrari didn't let him. Simple. If Ferrari had pitted him first...
That's right. He would have won it.
Leclerc's taken it on the chin and gone, it's what's happened for the team is it's the best way that we could get a 1-2 position. If Leclerc had pitted, Hamilton would have pitted after the same lap as Sebastian. Sebastian would have probably stayed in his position of 3rd or 4th behind Max.
Yep.
May have stayed behind Max, may have jumped Max, not sure. But no, he was running 3rd, so he may have stayed 3rd. But the only way for to get a 1-2 was to have Sebastian undercut Lewis, but he managed to undercut his teammate as well with a really good outlap after the pits. The only thing that I felt was quite weird was there was no Terry in Singapore.
The prankster, the jokester of the pit crew, no Terry causing mischief in the... There was no real fuck-up in the pits, was there?
No.
Which is a bit of a shame because...
And it's hot, humid.
That's when you would expect the most number of fuck-ups.
There'd be a lapse. You'd think Terry may have just sort of nudged someone off, tied him up, got out there.
Because it gets sweaty in that helmet. There's a lot of dew on the inside of that, so you can imagine... It's perfect Terry weather.
What was the term you used?
Terry can moist.
No, the other one. What was the bottom?
It's a swamp ass. it's the capital of... Singapore is the capital of swamp ass, where you are constantly in a state of
doesn't matter which country listens to this. They will understand what a swamp is.
Everybody
humidity and
it.
ass.
Yep.
You put it together in a beautiful tapestry that just feels like you're in Singapore.
It tastes like swamp ass. I mean, when you hear the word swamp ass, you can always taste it.
It's gators almost there.
You can sense
someone hovercrafting over the top of the swamp.
Yeah, it's steamy. It's unpleasant. That's Singapore. It's swampy.
Swampy.
Swamp ass.
Yeah. I've got some sad news.
Oh no.
Yeah.
What? What's wrong? You all right? You look fine.
I'm fine.
Oh, by the way, thanks for having us in your lounge room.
Well, where else are we going to do it?
I don't know.
We could do it at a bus stop one time.
That would be
just
interesting.
randomly just sit next to people.
That would just start podcasting.
Yeah.
What's happened? What's happened? Talk to me.
There's Pete's inconsolable.
Pete, this is producer Pete.
Producer Pete.
Yep. The world's greatest producer.
That'll change later on.
I might have overshot that slightly.
A little bit.
He is a producer.
There's been a death.
Oh no.
Speckled Jim. The passing of Pete's favourite cop.
Speckled Jim's dead.
Not
Speckled Jim, Luke.
Yeah, Pete had
We got quite attached to that little fella.
We did. And he raised some funds with his...
We hand raised him.
We sure did.
He used to nuzzle up to our little hand prior to a podcast.
Because his neck was a bit
skew-if. Yeah. And he'd peck at that little seed.
So Pete had him in training, and he was sparring up against one of those, the drinking birds.
Yeah.
They just bob up and down.
Yes.
Yeah.
He didn't.
Jim was knocked out early.
Got hit by the bobbing water bird.
Yep. And the drinking bird just kept going at him while he was on the ground.
Oh, he was down, and then it was relentless. Finished him off.
So Speckled Jim is no more.
And he couldn't.
Pete's inconsolable.
Pete couldn't hear the cries from Speckled Jim as this was happening.
No, he was just telling him to get up, stop being soft.
Of course, he's a
Pete's
trainer.
a very hard trainer.
He's very hard. He's very hard on us on this podcast.
Yeah,
He's
straight
always-
after this,
He's always Luke.
a couple of punches in the face.
Come on, mate.
Yep.
Adam, funnier. Luke,
Yep.
just keep going.
Yeah, be more handsome
Be more handsome.
for a podcast.
Yeah.
So that's the unfortunate passing of Speckled Jim.
Effing one's very own cock, Speckled
Pete's
Jim.
favourite cock. And a cock that everyone in this podcast is fully aware of.
And let's be honest, the only reason we were able to get to Liberty Media last year, Speckled Jim, actually financed our trip to the States.
Took out the champ.
To knock on the door of Bratches, who was wearing breeches.
He was.
That was an expensive trip, and that was all thanks to Speckled Jim
We made it expensive, yeah.
and his cockfighting.
Yeah.
He was a good cockfighter, that little rooster.
I think that
Good little rooster.
I think that
Oh,
the champ actually threw it, but
Sorely
hey,
missed.
got us there.
special. Rip. Speckled Jim. Long live you, sir. Should we have a little moment? Maybe a minute silence? It seems like a long time on a podcast.
We could just keep talking, then I can edit in a minute silence.
No, I think if we have 2 second silence
Ready?
for Speckled Jim. Rest in peace, little fella. Oh, that little water bird, Bobby.
I just burst into tears. That's what that was.
That's what happens when you get upset. You laugh.
Emotionally attached.
Yeah, you need help. Well, that is sad. Why are we laughing, Speckled Jim? But the good thing is, Speckled Jim had
Just remembering the good times. You got to remember the good times.
Gotta remember
You can't always be sad.
You've got to reminisce.
Sometimes you got to laugh at a funeral.
If you don't remember the good times, Luke, we've got the photos to remember him by, the videos.
He's just getting his ass kicked.
But the good thing is about Speckled Jim, he had 24 offspring. so
Sad times.
it's not so. I mean, it's a shame that his kids had to watch him die like that.
It's the only way to learn.
I thought it was. I don't know why I'm laughing. Stop laughing, Luke. It's not funny. I don't know why. I don't know why Pete made his 24 kids watch him die. It was horrible.
It's a training exercise. You got to get used to the blood sport. You can't be thrown off. You can't be weak. You got to be strong in the cock arena.
And those 24 will never make that same mistake again.
No, they won't. They'd learn the moves of the
Remember
drinking
what happened
bird.
with Dad? Guys, remember what happened with Dad? And that bird, that wooden bird that was bobbing up and down.
Sad times. Putting the fun in funeral. That's what we do.
That's what we do. Well, we better move on because we can't. It's tough for all of us.
So it's a sad time.
Sad time.
For the podcast. We'll try and get back on. I'm sorry to bring it down.
That's okay.
Bring the mood down.
No, I'm glad you told me because it would have been. I haven't been in the kitchen, so for me to walk out there now and to see him on the floor like that,
He's still there.
he's still there, isn't
There's a
he?
chalk outline around him. We're just too lazy to pick him up.
Did Pete pop him in the? I saw that Pete made some noodles. Did he put him
Not all
in the
of
noodles? Well, there's
Just a bit.
just a bit left. The Speckled Jim dedicated Formula One podcast, Effing One podcast, will continue.
We will.
We'll continue.
That's what Jim would have wanted.
That's what he.
Did you shit your pants?
I just farted a little bit. I just farted slightly.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, God. All right. So what's on this podcast, Luke? So much. We can't just wallow in
Singapore.
self-misery.
It's a
We're not
great-
going to wallow in self-misery, Luke.
We're not. It was a great race.
We need to pick ourselves up.
Plenty of overtaking, especially from Daniel Ricciardo, our man. He's
Fan.
clearly the most interesting person there is.
Not only the most interesting person on the Formula One grid, the best, he's renowned as the best overtaker in the biz. And he did a smashing job in the first few laps. He went from last place, he got himself right up there, and in fact, I think he was, correct me if I'm wrong, after a few pit stops, he was sitting around fourth or fifth.
Yeah, fourth.
And then, he had a bit of bad luck. He had a little fracas.
Bit of argy-bargy, made contact. His rear wheel hit. It looked like the floor of, I think it was a Force India maybe, or Red, or a Toro Rosso. I'm not sure.
Was it a Haas? Oh, no.
As one of the shit drivers. He hit him with his rear wheel, got a puncture, and that kind of ruined his race. The next lap, I think, or the lap after, was the safety car, which would have been perfect for him.
Oh, that's right.
But so he got screwed. He went to the back. The only thing I was a little bit disappointed was because there was 2 more safety cars after that.
Yeah.
And they didn't pit him for some softs. I thought, just he was back there. Give him some fresh boots. They're not going to be brand new, but they'll probably only be 4 laps old.
Yeah. Give
him a chance to go out there with some reds and pound the last 10 laps and try and make some overtaking moves. And,
he was a little unlucky.
Yeah, and he had a good battle with, I think it was Sainz, one of the Haas, and Stroll. Stroll really positioned himself quite well.
He does
in that whole battle.
He doesn't like to qualify, Stroll.
Ah, shit, at qualifying, unless it's Monza.
Yeah, he doesn't mind getting his elbows out during the race. He's doing pretty well. Gasly's been a bit of a surprise, Luke. Gasly's stepped up a little bit. He still has dreams of the Red Bull first team. Of course, we know better.
What's not going to happen?
It's not going to happen unless
Albon. Like the gas man. What they should do is get rid of his former handler, which is now Albon's handler.
Oh, that absolute twat!
I saw an interview with Albon. I think.
What's his name? Do we know his name?
No.
Oh, he's a twat.
Maybe we'll just call him Twat.
Twat face. Sorry, Karen.
Alexander Albon was on Beyond the Grid, and he's like, all this whole new media commitments and stuff like that. So he was already complaining about the media commitments. Well, not complaining, just like it's a much bigger step. There's much more spotlight on you. And who's handling him?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're blaming it on his handler. So the reason why Gasly doesn't have the drive anymore is because of his handler.
Was that handler originally Dan's? Does he go all the way back to Dan?
Fuck, I hope not. Can't be.
Surely not.
Dan's too charismatic.
Dan would have got rid of him the first
he
day.
would have kicked him in the shins and rolled him down a hill.
Yeah, I know I can talk. Don't worry. I got this.
Yeah.
I know how to handle
myself.
myself.
You just pull your recorder out, record what I say, if that's what your job is.
Yeah.
And
sit back and enjoy the show, dickhead.
Yeah.
Sit back and watch me.
Yeah. He wouldn't know how to handle.
No.
Daniel.
No.
Just got to let the boy go.
Yeah, exactly.
Got to let that peacock fly.
God, let him fly.
So, we have awards, championships. What do we want to look at for that?
Yeah. Well,
Singapore.
Well, I want to tell you what's coming on the podcast, Luke, because it is
a good idea.
Fucking huge.
I got a bit sidetracked with Speckled.
No, I know we got a bit excited. We got upset. It's been a roller coaster. It's been a roller coaster 5 minutes
of emotion.
So huge. We're going to chat to Luke. Get this. We're going to chat to 4-time world champion and recent winner of the Singapore Grand Prix, Sebastian Vettel.
I know him.
On this very podcast. A little Aussie podcast like this, and we've got names like Sebastian Vettel.
Yep.
Frightening. We're going to chat to him very shortly, hand out some awards, tons of awards. Update from the new proposed Formula One race of 2021. Everyone's talking about it. The Monaco of the Gold Coast, Luke. If anyone's been to the Gold Coast, if you've been to Nerang, you'll know it's the Monaco of the Gold Coast.
Beautiful
Absolutely.
Spot.
It's destination. It's picturesque.
Monaco has blue water. Nerang has brown water.
Correct.
In the Nerang River.
Yes. Monaco has beautiful ladies.
Luxury yachts. We in Nerang have
don't
inflatable dinghies
and
women
Sharon.
with a couple of teeth.
Yeah, a lot of Sharons.
We call them Shazzers over here.
Shazmeister. So we're going to catch up with the latest news from the Monaco of the Gold Coast. You've got some breaking news there. So very, very fascinating as that race is getting closer to being locked in to the 2021 schedule for the series. So pretty excited about this.
Yep.
Dude or Douchebag. Luke,
Dude or Douchebag.
We're going to play another game of Dude or Douchebag. We're going to feature a Formula One driver and take our scientific formula to determine whether or not they are a dude or a douchebag. A dude or a dude bag. We'll find out very shortly. Also, we're going to preview the Russian Grand Prix.
Oh, yeah, that's happening.
That's happening right now. Practice sessions happening right now. Kimi Raikkonen's on the podcast, Luke. Kimi Raikkonen.
Wow.
Oh, exactly. Oh, he's coming up very shortly. Effing what segment?
Effing what?
You're going to tantalise us with some more
I've got some facts. They could be made up. They could be factual. You'll
You
never
have
know.
to choose. Yeah. Is Luke's facts made up or are they real facts? Also, some news, breaking news, time zones, predictions, all that sort of stuff, and a whole lot more. Good time to mention, Luke, as is tradition here at F1 Podcast, we have to dress up in the traditional outfit, the native costumes of the featured race, out of respect for the country's customs and traditions. That is what we do. We are both respectful. If producer Peter has taught us anything in this podcast, it's to be respectful.
Of
other people.
Oh, okay.
And other podcasts.
Right.
So, we are wearing this week, Luke, the native costume of this one. If there's one country, if there's one country that deserves more respect but will never get it, it's Russia. Under their profile pic, Russia has on social media put special skills, shooting down passenger planes, invading Ukraine, meddling in elections, bribing FIFA to host World Cups, and dropping paper bags to the FIA for the 2019 Formula One Grand Prix. So, out of respect for Russia and its traditions, customs, we are wearing today our babushka outfits. Look at this.
I'll tell you what. I
Feel comfy?
I'm much more comfortable with you outside me now.
Yes, because what happens with the babushka is I'm a slightly smaller babushka doll, detachable from the waist, as are you, but you're slightly larger, so I can actually sit inside. I can be inside you.
You were, and I was very uncomfortable. But thankfully now you're outside of me.
And we've taken our heads off because when we have the heads on.
Yeah. Well, I took my head off so you could come out, and now I've put my head back on. I don't know what's inside you. Could be producer Pete. No? Come out, Pete. What's that?
He's also in his babushka doll.
Yes.
Yeah.
Speckled Jim's inside him.
Oh, boy.
His little coffin.
Oh, bless.
Inside Pete.
Oh, bless. He's the smallest babushka doll.
Yeah.
It's just a little bit of... Oh, little fella. Hand whittled by producer Pete, up all night with his babushka dolls, hand whittling these out of a single piece of timber. Very, very creative.
He's very handy.
Very, very. He's a crafty craftsman. He's a whittler and a craftsman. So, love it. Really nice. Check out the photos on Instagram. You'll see us on our babushka dolls.
You sure will.
Makes sense when you're sitting here, two adult men by themselves in your lounge room.
Yeah, they're not comfortable to sit in, but...
No, not great.
Fuck it.
I'm glad we're doing it, though. Does make sense.
Yeah.
It's for the kids. Mostly for the kids. Okay, so...
I hope kids don't listen to what we say.
I know.
Go to fucking bed, kids.
Go to bed. It's past your bedtime. Can we have a look at the fastest lap for the race? Can we do some quick look at the...
Oh, we can look at whatever
Do you have that
want.
stuff?
Yeah,
okay.
of course I do.
Driver of the day, championship point breakdown.
So the fastest lap was Kevin Magnussen. Magsy.
Magnussen.
Yeah.
Flying.
Yep, the flying Dane. The out there Viking. No, he doesn't stay at home. He's out there, raping, pillaging, doing all that stuff. 1 minute 42.3.
He was a bit unlucky, I reckon. He drove pretty well.
He did.
Fastest lap was him.
Fastest lap was him.
Well
Driver of the day was Sebastian Vettel. And the fastest pit stop,
he
won the race.
He did, but...
He came out of the pits and put in a good outlap.
He did put a good outlap. He got a bit lucky. He got lucky with the tactics, sure. Yep. I mean, they were just covering off Max with Ferrari, but it worked. They were trying to jump Hamilton. Turned out they jumped not only Hamilton, jumped Leclerc. Leclerc wasn't happy.
Leclerc's pit stop was 6/10 quicker than him, so...
Yep.
They came out pretty close, but
the undercut,
Leclerc really couldn't get him.
That really paid off that weekend.
And then when they were coming up to the Ricardos, I think it was Gasly in the Toro Rosso and Giovinazzi who led 4 laps of the race.
Yes, well done.
Pizza man.
Pizza delivery boy. Great job.
Yeah, I think, outside the top 6, I don't think a lap's been led by another driver this year.
Wow, about that.
Yeah. So yeah, he Williams fastest pit stop as well.
They've still got it, haven't they, Williams?
Yeah,
Their pit stops
yeah.
stand
I reckon
out.
for maybe for Kubica's last race in Abu Dhabi for Williams, that they should all have gammy hands when they do their pit stops.
Oh, nice.
Just as sort of a tribute.
Yep.
It may not be quick.
Changing the wheel with one arm.
Mm.
Each of the pit crew can only use one arm to change the tyre.
Yeah.
And in the last race for Kubica,
Yeah.
just a little sign off.
Yeah.
As his arm is just sitting outside the car.
Flipping the bird.
Flipping the bird, permanently fixed, tied up to the... Because he can't use that arm.
No.
It's just permanently fixed in the bird position.
Yeah. Do you know he used to be a right-handed rider?
That's right.
And he signs all his autographs left-handed now.
Yeah, he's had to change. I mean,
I couldn't do that.
Are you
I
ambidextrous
put the
more? Are you...
pen in my mouth.
Yeah, I'm really right focused. If I lose...
I'm very right.
Yeah, I'm
I've
right-handed.
like playing sports. Like I train myself to throw and kick left.
I throw like a girl with my left arm. With my right arm, I'm like just a world-class champion.
Yeah, I can turn around because I try and train both sides. But yeah,
It's bloody hard to do, to change something that you've known, and your brain works that way. That's the way. So you have to retrain. Frightening. I just had a thought. I had a thought when you mentioned the slippery hands on the pit crew. Could we, for making Formula One great suggestions, because this is what we do here at Effing One Podcast, we make suggestions to make Formula One great. Always thinking of the little things. Just try to spice things up.
Yep.
We've had some crackers in the past, haven't we?
Yep.
The old whacking stick with with water over the straight.
Yep.
With the hot food competition, when you got the hot food, you're qualifying with the native dish of that particular race.
Hot water balloons.
Hot water balloons.
Sorry, not hot water. Water balloons thrown over the track.
The shopping bag challenge.
Reverse parking challenge.
Reverse parking challenge.
Yeah.
How about
Team
this one?
qualifying.
Team qualifying. This is a bit more sensible. Why don't we have a bonus point for the fastest pit stop of the race?
I like that.
Because I tell you what, Williams would be absolutely on fire.
As they are every week. The making F1 great again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what we should do.
I like it.
Give them a point.
Give them a bonus point.
They deserve it.
For the fastest pit stop of the race.
What have we got next?
Sidetrack.
F1 Podcast Awards? Our awards? Should we give them that one?
Yeah, let's give out let's hand out some awards. We've got some beautiful awards here, Luke, that have been hand whittled by the whittle man himself. And the first one is the Green Award, Luke, who was in the Singapore Grand Prix nice and considerate towards the environment.
Well, I'm going to give it to our Frenchman, the one that goes on and on, Romain Grosjean, for putting George Russell into the wall.
Yeah.
Because he was the one that did that.
Yep.
It's not Russell's fault. You can't give the award to Russell because he was a passenger in Grosjean putting him in the wall.
Would Grosjean be the leader of this award so far this year? He'd be up there.
He would be up there.
For the overall Green Award?
Yeah.
He'd have a few of those trophies.
The end of year greenie, as we call it.
Yep. Another one is the Biggest Waste of Time Award, Luke. Who wasted everyone's time when they rocked up at Singapore? The UGE Day Award.
Well, you're not going to like this.
Oh, shit.
For being disqualified in qualifying, for being excluded from the results of qualifying, excuse me, and for racing hard and then racing hard against 14th and 13th positions. It's going to our man, the personality, Daniel Ricciardo, for a weekend he probably shouldn't have turned up to.
Yep. Kind of forgettable.
Car was quick.
Very quick. Showed some great class in there. Great overtaking. Showed some sweet moves.
So I'll give you some insight as to what happened with qualifying. So in Q1, on Daniel's, it wasn't his fastest lap. I think it was his third fastest lap in Q1. He hit a bump on the road, which spiked the KERS, the kinetic energy recovery system, and it gave an increased time of 1 microsecond.
What?
Which is a millionth of a second, I believe.
And you can penalise a team for that?
A microsecond. So, yeah, it exceeded the output it should be given.
Yeah.
So it exceeded it on not his fastest, not his second fastest, not any of the laps that would have got him into Q2. It was like a minor lap, But it didn't spike at any other time over Q2, Q3,
jeez.
but he was excluded from the results because of that spike that led him to a 1 microsecond, not a millisecond, a microsecond.
Come on, Formula One. Give us a fucking break, would you?
The thing is...
Overregulated much?
On Friday, Mercedes had a fuel temperature regulation infringement.
Right.
So they were 1.6 or 1.7 degrees Celsius lower than what they're allowed to have the fuel temperature at.
Right.
They got like a $10,000 fine, but they didn't get excluded from anything.
Doesn't seem very fair, does it?
It doesn't seem fair, but also a $10,000 fine that's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
Jesus. For a fuel temperature issue. Like, I understand there's a reason why they have fuel and I understand there is rules and regulations, and Renault didn't fight it, but there needs to be some common sense when does it fit the crime?
Yeah.
It's not on a lap that got him through to Q2.
Yeah.
It was an anomaly from bumping the curb, which spiked it. In Singapore, when Mark Webber was driving there, he ran over the tram tracks that ran under the track, which fucked with his curves and made it unavailable. It didn't work for him. He had a failure of his curves because the surge that went through the ground into his car when it bottomed out blew out his curves.
Right.
So you got to kind of take everything in and you know, you can give him a fine, but don't exclude the bloke because it was irrelevant to any result of what happened. They need some common sense.
Yeah, it just seems like a absolutely schmozzle.
Overreaction.
It's completely overregulated, and I think they need to pull back a little bit, like they've done with the overtaking now, letting them drive a little bit more, race a bit more. Lots of overtaking, and I like it.
And they said Singapore there wasn't much opportunity to overtake. The start of the Grand Prix was very slow.
Yep.
Thanks to Leclerc just holding everyone up because they didn't have the tyre life to be able to take on Mercedes at your normal race run. But
it's good because they're letting them race.
Yeah.
And they're not clamping down on that, the 50-50s, the infringements. It's just a racing incident now, which is fantastic. But something like that with Dan, come on. You've got to let that go. If you can clearly see it hasn't improved and given him an advantage anywhere, just let it go.
Yep. Oh, yeah. I think definitely penalise them, fine them, but don't exclude the driver for something that he didn't do and something the team didn't do.
Right.
It was something that was an anomaly that was out of their hands. But anyway, that Daniel Ricciardo gets the UGEA award. That's where that came from.
Fair enough. It's a long way to get there, but we got there.
Yep.
But good explanation. The Everyone podcast making Formula One great, Luke. Did anyone make Formula One great?
There was a lot of greatness, but I'm kind of giving this like the coaches award or the appreciation award for this one, for our award. I'm giving it to Robert Kubica. Now, the reason being is incredibly hot temperatures and a bumpy street circuit for a man with one hand.
Yeah.
You've got to take your hat off to him.
That's tough.
Yeah. 2 hours of racing
God.
in the Singapore heat, driving around with one hand.
Yeah. In the
other
worst...
hand that just sort of rests on there.
And for no reason. You're in the worst car. He can't possibly do any good.
No.
But yet he turns up.
Turns up, bangs over the curbs, did a great job.
Good on him.
So I'm giving it to Kubica for the Effing One podcast
He
award.
is such a success story, even though it hasn't quite gone to the fairy tale that we would have liked at the start of the season because the car's been rubbish.
Rumours he might be going to Haas as a third driver, and which would give him some Friday practices as well.
Okay.
There's a rumour there.
Oh, that's good.
So I think maybe they want to tap into his experience.
No, I would have thought that he wanted to just...
Even though both of the drivers are pretty experienced.
Yeah, there's a lot of experience there.
But he could give another insight.
I would have thought that he wanted to race. I would have thought that he wanted to go to another series and just...
Maybe he thinks he's getting too old.
Well,
he hasn't cut it up with... George Russell isn't a slouch. He's not,
No, he's bloody fast.
Yeah. So...
Yeah. Where's Hulkenberg going to turn up? Oh, I'm just taking a side track here.
Williams, apparently. I heard rumours that Williams could be grabbing him.
Really?
Sure, Williams aren't going to be that shit next year.
Well, it's still a long way back, Luke.
Oh, yeah. They've got a lot of catching up to do, but they have caught up.
They hit rock bottom at the start of this season.
Yeah.
They can only come up, but... Geez,
he's running out of seats.
You'd still think that they're going to be struggling for the next couple of years.
Oh,
certainly until
it could
2021.
all change 2021. You know, they have made a big step forward this year. They understand the correlation issues.
Yeah, that's a whole new ball game, 2021.
Oh, massive.
Where were we? Oh, awards.
Still, we have the Liquid and Senate Award and the Pasta Maldonado
Yes,
Award.
the Pasta Maldonado Award for dangerous driving, Luke.
Well, it's only going to one man, really. Caused a yellow a safety car when he ran into the side of Kimi Raikkonen. The missile himself, the
Yeah.
torpedo.
He's back. He's back. He's back.
Yep, the Russian with the one
Yes,
mission.
I am at the back. The torpedo is back.
Your
I am-
Russian accent is better than
No, it's
Kvyat's.
not. No, please. What are you talking about, Luke? Please.
Kubica
hey.
has a better Russian accent than
Kubica.
Kvyat.
I've come to suck your blood. They're very
Oh.
similar.
Very.
One's Count Dracula, one's very similar.
And that's why Kubica loved the Singapore track.
And
because
this
it's at night.
podcast. Big fan of...
Massive listener.
Yeah. He loves his podcast.
And if you are a Effing One podcast listener and you only have one hand, welcome.
Yes.
We don't discriminate.
One
High
hand
five to you.
and very low standards. We welcome you. And
Speaking
please.
of low standards, if there's any ladies on there.
Yes, Luke, the love line for Luke.
And the final award, the
Oh,
Lick It and
Lick
Send
it
It
and
award.
send it for the best overtaking maneuver.
Yep. I'm going to give it to our man who we're about to chat to,
Yep.
Sebastian Fingerboy Vettel. The
Yeah.
finger is back.
Yeah.
For his overtake on Gasly. Stuck it down there.
Sweet move.
Got it nearly made... I think they made a little bit of contact with each other. Gasly did avoid the accident that could have been much worse. But for getting it, like licking it, sending it down there, doing it late. I like
He's
it.
back, isn't he?
I like it.
He's back, and he's also on this podcast right now. We're going to Skype Sebastian Vettel, 4-time world champion, on this little Australian Formula One podcast. Shall we do it right now?
Right now.
Let's do it. Hey guys.
Sebastian.
Hey guys, it's me. It's Sebastian Vettel, 4-time world champion. What's
You-
going on?
You've got
Oh my god.
you've got 12 minutes left of the session.
Oh my god, did you see me, guys?
I did.
Did you guys? Sorry, what is und this podcast?
This is the Effing One podcast.
I don't care. I don't care, but why do you... Oh, it's you, Luke.
Yes.
Oh, look, hi.
Can't
What?
you see me on your
No,
dash?
yeah, it's on the... I'm in the car. Can
Yeah, I
you
can
see me in
see
the
you. I
Ferrari?
can see
I'm
you.
in the garage. I'm just
Which,
waiting.
am I on the left screen or the right screen?
I think on the left screen.
You think?
Yeah. Oh, so I'm looking through the rearview mirror. So
Why are you looking at the review?
I just do that because I'm looking from behind, so my ass.
You're an old man.
Have you seen my ass?
I
Looks
have.
fantastisch.
I have.
Und fantastisch.
Yeah, it glows like the Singapore night race.
Ah, I've got a tight little
Who
hiney.
is the Singapore Grand Prix winner, Sebastian? Congratulations.
Thank you very much, guys. Oh my god, welcome back. Oh my gosh, it's been such a long time to... Oh my god. Sebastian Vettel's back, baby. I'm back, baby. Ooh, I'm back.
Did you have any idea that you were going to undercut the clerk?
Nine. I did not. I didn't... That was unusual. I didn't... I mean, I knew I was coming in because there's a Maxi was on the radio. My team told me that he was thinking to come in, and they decided to put me in first. And I love being put in first. It's just so warm in there. And then I came in and I came out and hoping to be in front of the
Oh, so you came out.
Yeah, you come in and out.
So you've come out now.
Yeah, you come in and out and slowly move it around.
So everyone knows you're out now.
Yeah, I'm out.
Oh, good.
And then out of the pits and then back into the race.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Sorry, I thought you were talking something else.
Oh, okay, no, sure. Yeah, and that worked out und perfect for me.
Leclerc's a little bit quicker than you at the moment.
Hey, whoa.
Yeah.
Excuse me, what the fuck? Und what are you talking about?
Just the practice times.
Oh, sorry, yeah,
Yes,
sure.
He's in front.
I thought you meant to say like general speeding. No, I'm still Sebastian Vettel. I'm still pretty great.
Four-time world champion.
4-time world champion. Oh, I did hear some horrible news about the podcast on Speckled Gym. I just want to pay my respect to one of the greatest cocks I've ever enjoyed to watch. Look, please don't interrupt me. Und Luki, I want to get this out because it's hard. I've written something down here on this piece.
Oh, really?
On the piece of paper for Speckled Gym.
Okay.
Und Speckled Gym. It's me, Sebastian Vettel.
Getting emotional.
Remember me? We had such times together, und you and I, you were just a little baby cock, and I used to stroke you, and you would be my friend. And you're a little When I'd stroke you, sometimes your little cock would come out.
I'm so sad right now.
And then I would hold you and we would have nights together, lonely nights. We would sit and watch the TV together. And Luke and Adam would go out and have for the dinner or go out. And it was just you and I. And then the Barry White music would come out. And I would slowly come closer to you. And just the breath of your little cock onto my back of my neck.
You two used to watch Bloodsport together, didn't you?
Yeah, we did. What's about
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Big fan of Jean-Claude Van Damme. He's a very good fighter. With the glass on the hands and the boxing and the fighting and the leg kicking.
Yeah.
So yeah, very upsetting. And wherever you are, Speckled Jim, you delicious cock, I will be with you. And rest in peace. And I do this lap and this race for you. I dedicate Russia for you. Okay?
Beautiful words.
Thanks,
you,
guys.
Sebastian.
I've got to go. I'm very busy.
Good luck.
All right. Fuck you guys. Bye. Oh.
Oh, fuck you guys at the end. Jeez.
What was that unnecessary? Sebastian Vettel.
I don't know if that was a term of endearment.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Fuck you too.
I think maybe because he's upset about the death of Speckled Jim.
No, it's
Probably holds you responsible.
if we see a black armband on him this weekend, we'll know why.
We'll know exactly why.
Yeah.
So thank you very much, Sebastian Vettel, four-time world champion on F1 podcast. A little bit somber, but good to see him back in some form, isn't it?
Yep.
Time to preview the Russian Grand Prix. Luke, it's time to head over there and chuck you in the PlayStation 4.
Shit.
Luke.
All right, just a heads up. I
Yes.
have never, ever driven this track.
And that is why...
Ever.
That is why...
You're going to do it today.
You're in the McLaren and you'll be fine. So talk us through the lap, Luke. You're in the PS4 running through the circuit in a McLaren
I'm looking at this going, I don't know what's next.
in Sochi. You've got the cheat lines on, so you know
Oh,
where
I
to
need
brake.
these.
You need these. Oh, no. Too narrow.
That's all right.
Come in wider. Okay, here we go. Down the straight, Luke, of the Russian Grand Prix. And let's start this lap, Luke. And
This is
looking
a long straight.
good. You're in 8th gear.
Yeah.
Powering
I've flicked
through.
open DRS.
Got a DRS right
Going
open
right
here.
down to turn one.
325 kilometres an hour, coming right down to 104. Wow.
And here comes turn 3, which will be our effing what segment. It's flat out. Pulling about
fast,
3.5 G. I can't feel it right now.
Gee, some of this
And
track looks
braking. This is where the Finns battled and banged into each other a couple of years ago when Valtteri Bottas was in the Williams.
Yeah, Bottas likes this track, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's very quick. Be interesting what our predictions are later. I've got an update for our scores.
Oh, very
Let's
nice.
say I pegged a couple back, which is
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
If it wasn't for this cheat line, I would have no idea.
You got the football stadium on your right-hand side there, Luke, for the
Yep.
from the World Cup. Another stadium up at the Sochi is a bit of a playground, isn't it, in Russia?
Oh, yeah. It's probably the only thing that's actually exciting outside of, general architecture around St. Petersburg and Moscow.
The only thing in Russia that's not grey, dull, and boring is Sochi. Oh, hello, careful there. Kiss the
Nearly hit
wall
the
there.
wall.
Little kiss of the wall.
Oh, this is the one where Carlos Sainz had that big accident,
Oh,
which I can understand
tight one.
why.
Yep.
I think he hit the wall at 65 G or something.
Boy, oh boy.
Big crash. It was in free practice 3, but he came out and did
Yep.
qualifying.
Oh,
Or he did it in qualifying and he
this
raced.
lap is not going to plan, Luke. Not
Hey,
looking
it
great.
started pretty decently, but...
It did. It's falling apart. It's
yeah.
rapidly falling apart.
It's like this podcast.
Is it coming? It starts well, and
It didn't start well.
no, it doesn't start well at all, and just
Started well once, and that was it.
stays the same all the way through, and generally gets worse, like that lap. And good job, Luke, on the PlayStation 4. Not all boys crashing that. Oh, you've lost a wing, and he's smashed into the wall. Good job. In
I'm
your-
just shedding aero just to make it a little bit quicker in a straight line.
Well done. So there you go. It's
idea.
a pretty quick track, smooth, well surfaced.
Yep.
Suits the smooth driver. Well, Bottas likes it. He doesn't like overtaking,
No,
but
he's terrible at that.
he likes this track.
If he stays out in front, he's good because he doesn't have to, overtake or let anyone.
Yeah, although he wasn't the previous winner of this race.
He
was
wasn't. Lewis Hamilton was ahead of Sebastian Vettel and Valtteri Bottas. I think Bottas was second, Sebastian was third.
Did Bottas win in 2017?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. So tyres. What's the tyre choice here?
So the tyre choice this weekend for the Russian Grand Prix in Sochi. We're going with the hard is the C2, the medium is the C3, and the soft is the C4. So the medium range of compounds, not going to the extremes of the very soft or the very hard that Pirelli has to offer. It is 53 laps of this wonderful Sochi track. I think it's just, they call it the Sochi Autodrome, I think.
Okay.
5.848 kilometers, 309.745 racing kilometers. It's a fun little track. It's a street circuit. There's a lot going on. And the really exciting bit is one of the rare facts that we can give you about Sochi is the circuit length is, if you had Tim Tams and you laid them out end by end as you go around the track, there would be 97,466 Tim Tams.
Wow.
You could probably round that up to 97,500 because we'd probably eat the remaining 34.
Statistic of the day, Luke. You've worked that out with your formula. You've measured the length of a Tim Tam, and then you've divided that with the length of the track.
With the length of the track.
And you've deducted how many thousand?
97,000
Tim Tams.
466 Tim Tams.
66. Wow.
0.6667, but I'd probably round that up and eat one.
When you say that, are you taking the shortest possible route? Like, are you taking the
racing
driving
line.
the racing line?
Yeah. It's the shortest way around the track.
Well done, sir.
You're welcome.
That is an awesome statistic
You
today.
won't hear that on another podcast, will you?
You will not.
People go, I wonder how many Tim Tams would I've just told you.
Take that fact with you around today. I mean, you can travel around. What are you doing today?
Working.
Think about that for a moment. Working.
Yep.
How many Tim Tams goes around the Sochi Grand Prix track?
Next time you grab a Tim Tam, look at it and go, you know what? If I had 97,000 of these, I could make my own Sochi track.
Damn right you could. Frightening.
That's not even effing what. That's just a Sochi stat.
That's a Sochi stat.
I could give you more Tim Tam stats.
Can we do effing what while we're here?
Let's do an effing what.
Let's do an effing what. Give us some more while you're in the mood. You're already looking fantastic. You're on fire, Luke, with your stats. You are. You are. So give us an effing what this week.
Okay, so this is about Sochi. This is about turn 3.
Okay.
Turn 3 is that long left-hander.
Yes.
It's 161 degrees of rotation around it.
Wow.
That is a significant circular.
That is big.
It's 789 meters in length. Is that just turn 3 to turn 4? It takes you 10 seconds to do it. At the start of the corner, you're pulling 2.5 G. By the end of the corner, you're pulling 3.5.
Is that like
nearly 4 lateral
That's
G?
the same number of Gs as a fighter jet.
Yeah, but it's lateral Gs coming around the corner. The entry speed is to the start of the corner is 275 kilometers an hour.
Wow!
As you really start to kick into the left-hander of it, and you reach a speed over 294 kilometers an hour at the exit of the corner. So nearly 300 Ks around this long left-hander. It's
wow.
Very interesting track. Another random stat about Sochi is 10 kilograms of fuel will cost you 0.4 of a second. So the heavier you have the car, goes by your lap time. So when they're doing race simulations like they would be doing now, you take into consideration how much fuel they had to what lap time they were doing it earlier.
Right.
So it's a pretty easy way to figure it out and work it out. They burn 1.98 kilograms of fuel per lap.
Jeez.
That's a lot of fuel.
That's a lot of fuel.
And 70% of the lap is full throttle.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's your
effing what? Effing what?
Yeah.
I love that.
You're welcome.
That's great. We've got some news. Any news circulating around the trap? We're still looking for a place for Nico Hulkinen to turn up.
Hulkinen.
Nico, what? The Hulk.
It's Hulkinen and Raikkonen.
Hulkinen.
merged together to create the ultimate drunk tall German.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
This is Nico Hulkinen.
Hulkinen.
It's a nice name. I don't mind it.
It's a good driver's name. Good Formula 1 driver's name.
Yeah.
Sorry. The Hulk.
Hulkenberg.
Where will he turn up next year? Because he's had some doors closed on him. Renault's kicked him out. Haas has said no.
Haas has said no. What
Can't
the
believe that.
fuck's
That
going
was
on?
surprising. So where's he going to go now?
There's
You
not
mentioned
a lot of spots available. There's Alpha, but
Alfa
I think
Romeo?
Giovinazzi did pretty well in the last race. Led some laps, 4 laps he led. Kubica's leaving. Maybe he could go
Williams.
to Williams. Maybe a Toro Rosso seat.
Toro Rosso, I can't imagine so.
Maybe a Red Bull Racing seat. It's not going to be at Force India. Oh, sorry.
No.
Racing Point. I don't know how I get that mixed up. And I can't. Yeah, that's it, really. There's no other seats. Everyone
He's
else
running
is
out of
kind
space.
taken. Yeah.
Running out of space. So if he doesn't get a seat in Formula One, what does he do?
Well,
Test driver?
he'd have to be a
Ferrari?
test driver. He might go to WEC. IndyCar's approached him. McLaren IndyCar's approached him, but he doesn't want to do ovals.
He wants to stay in Formula One.
Of course he does.
Who'd want to drive ovals? Could you imagine what a step down from Formula One to drive Indy?
Yeah.
Driving ovals.
Yeah.
Just
But, you look at drivers who are typical to road courses like Will Power, Scott Dixon, the likes of that, who didn't grow up racing ovals, have gone on to win the championship, have gone on to win the Indy 500. So it can be done,
there's plenty of skill in it.
but there's
just
if
it'd be
you're
boring if you're driving
unlucky, you could die.
Yeah.
Or you could have a very serious accident like Robert Wickens.
Yeah. I
who's-
just think you'd just like nod off when you
Oh,
were
no, I don't think that would be the case.
just go in the same direction, locking the arms in the one spot.
When you're racing millimeters away from
The wall that would wake you up.
guys like Takuma Sato and crazy people out, you'd be awake.
Yeah, you would.
You'd sphincter be very tight by the end of the weekend.
Yeah, you'd be stressing out the whole time, wouldn't you? Please don't die. Please don't die.
Yeah. Yeah, so Hulkenberg, if he doesn't go to Williams, back to Williams, he used to be at Williams.
Yeah.
But the poor guy, he gets shuffled around.
He's a bloody good driver as well. He's just unlucky.
He is. Definitely, he's a great race driver and can really execute a race plan. He's done that a couple of times
Not the
against
best
Daniel.
qualifier.
Qualifying a bit shy, but racing he definitely gets the biscuits and gets the most out of it. It's just when he's been in a position for a podium, he's dropped the ball.
Yep.
But there's no other real driver news, driver movement. But yeah, it's looking forward to this weekend's Grand Prix.
It's going to be good.
Could be some rain as well.
Which always throws in some fireworks and a bit of a spanner into it, so that'll be fun. Get some rain in there, yes, please.
Did you want the full weather report?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Who did you want?
You expecting rain on the Sunday?
I'm not expecting rain on the Sunday.
Maybe some qualifying rain.
They said for the whole weekend, but today's been reasonably dry. But I think it was Saturday they're expecting some rain.
Okay, so might get it for some qualifying action. That'd be fun.
That would be very exciting. Apparently, rain is about to start in 2 minutes in Runaway Bay, where we're
Is that
recording
right?
this podcast.
Oh.
Yeah, get your umbrella out.
Nice. Lucky we're indoor in the comfort of your delightful living room.
Yes.
Just beautiful.
If you need to stay the night, if you're afraid of rain, you're more than welcome to, Adam.
No, I keep knocking back that offer. But
of course you do.
thank you.
So there's a chance of rain on Saturday. There is rain about in the morning on Sunday. Top of temperatures 22 degrees for a Sunday, 21 degrees top on Saturday. So it's a little bit cooler than today's temperature.
Yeah, there we go. Just quick to interrupt you. The second practice, Max Verstappen looking good on top of that.
Yep, 3/10 ahead of Charles Leclerc, ahead of Bottas, Hamilton, Vettel, Gasly, Perez, Hülkenberg, Stroll and Albon in the top 10.
Interesting. I didn't think that the Red Bull would be so quick here, and I might have expected Ferrari to be a bit closer to the top,
Not a lot of downforce needed because there's some serious long straights.
which is the Red Bull's strength, their
Yeah.
downforce. So it's kind of weird that things
But
are
they
getting...
did well in places like Spa,
Yep.
which should suit the Renault, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should be interesting.
Just an update, Luke, if you wouldn't mind, from the most exciting proposed Formula One track for 2021. Lips are smacking. People are getting excited in Nerang. People are signing up. They're on the bandwagon because the Formula One race that represents the working class, the little battler, the forgotten, the downtrodden, the slightly inbred, the Nerang Grand Prix, The Monaco of the Gold Coast, Luke. Not the glitz and glamour or the beautiful boats on the water. A lot more cheap drugs and inbred people and fights. But still, what a track, what a circuit. We've got the video on Instagram, Facebook. Check it out.
Yep.
You got Luke and I driving the circuit. It's been mapped out.
Yep.
Bollards are going up as we speak.
Mm-hmm.
The
We have
mayor's
to buy
on board.
more witches' hats.
We
It's
need
a
to buy
long
some
track.
witches' hats. And we do need some seating. We need some fold-up chairs or something.
Yeah.
We probably can't get a whole stadium.
Oh, everyone, just bring your picnic rugs.
Bring your own rug.
Yep. We'll have some stadium seating brought to you by milk crates.
Yes.
Just get on top of the milk
Yep.
crates. You can just stagger them behind, so you've got a good vantage point. The news that I am sad to bring to you
Oh, no.
about the Nerang Grand Prix is Pete, before Speckled Jim's passing,
Is he upset? He's pretty upset, isn't he?
he's
I've not seen him.
inconsolable, mate.
He's not coming out of his room.
No. There's something going on in there, but I don't know what it is. Pete has lost the signatures that we had.
Oh, for fuck's sakes. Oh, for fuck's sakes. God damn it.
He had them wrapped up in a cockfighting form guide,
Oh, no.
which is called Inside Cock. And he's destroyed it.
Jesus Christ.
And so we've gone from, I think we're at 58 signatures.
58 signatures we had of support for the Nerang Grand
They
Prix
are
from
now
locals.
in the bin somewhere at a bloody cockfight.
Now we've got to start again.
But
Have you been back to the have you sent Pete back to the cockfight to try to retrieve, go through the bins?
of course I did. He just lost more money because he didn't pay any attention. He just went back, put more money on his...
Forgot about it.
Yeah.
Put another $5 on.
I don't know who
Another
he's betting
cock.
on now.
What's his? He's got a favourite cock at the moment.
I don't know. We'll have to ask him. I don't think any of Speckled Jim's 24 offspring are yet
They're not
all
ready.
to fight.
They're not ready. Have you seen them? I mean, when you look in their eyes.
One of them has that crazy look like...
Yeah, he does.
You know when you see... It's kind of like the Spider-Man thing where you see your parents die in front of you and you're like, right, I'm going to get some payback.
Yep.
He's just got
He's
that
got that payback looking.
killer instinct.
He's got that bloody killer
And he has
instinct
that
look.
red weird outfit, which I'm not quite sure how he did that, but
He's got that Mexican wrestling outfit that he likes to wear.
yeah.
But no, then you're right. They're not ready.
No,
But that one is.
I think he might be
he's
called Speckled Juan.
Speckled Juan is so close.
He's there, he's close, but he's not ready. But Pete threw away his money on some shit ass cock.
Oh, another cheap cock.
Yeah,
Just
now
straight
he's
into
looking for long odds. Lost
Yeah.
his money. So yeah, that's. So we don't have any signatures. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set up an online petition, take
All
it
right.
away from Pete's hands.
That's a good idea. That's a good
and
idea.
Everyone share it, sign it, and I'll send it to the necessary people in Formula One.
Yep.
All of our councils on board, state governments on board. We haven't spoken to any federal government people.
No, we're trying to keep the feds out of it.
Yeah.
We're keeping the fed. We're keeping it very much local. We're keeping it local. We've got Doreen at the travel agency. Actually, Doreen she's very pumped. She thinks she can really get some good bed and breakfasts rented out. She thinks it's a hot spot. I mean, there's some great locations, some good cheap accommodation, very cheap accommodation. I mean, dirty, filthy accommodation that's going to go that they'll be able to sell.
So I'm aiming for, we had 58. I reckon by the Japanese Grand Prix, I want to have 100 signatures. And that's up to you, the listeners, to share where it is. I'll put it on Instagram.
Yep.
I'll put the link there to go to the change.org, sign up.
Let's get this race on the 2021 Formula One calendar. It needs to be locked in. To do that, we need your help.
Yep.
We are calling
Share it,
out.
tell your friends,
Tell your friends.
tell your enemies, tell general passers-by.
We've got guys in America who love the idea. In fact, they've got tailor-made shirts of the track.
Foley
on
Boys.
The Foley Boys. Fucking love those guys, the
Yep.
Foley Boys, the Foley brothers.
Yep. I know we definitely know Smushy McTransfish.
He's on.
Cliff, he's on board.
He's right on board.
Yeah.
He's right on board because
He's thinking about buying a place on the circuit.
it's very
'Cause
cheap.
it's very, very cheap.
real estate. Very cheap
Yeah.
real estate.
And, you got great seats
Yep.
for the weekend and a good place to stay.
It's the Little Battlers Grand Prix. This Grand Prix is for the little people. It'd be the only one that isn't, for the super rich, the super fucking wealthy.
No pomp, no ceremony.
No pomp at all.
No.
This track is literally just a milk crate, you, and a hay bale.
Part of the terms and conditions of entry is no pomp.
You may die.
Yeah.
If a car comes off the track, it may just plough into your face. A hay bale, you might get a face full of hay.
Yeah.
But that's the beauty of this track. It's old school. It's like going back to Formula
your
One
mate.
racing. Oh, fucking, I hate him. Max, I hate him.
There's Max, and if you see the shoulder, guess whose shoulder that is?
Oh, that's the douche. Oh, I like him.
No. That's the handler.
Oh, the handler. Yeah,
The
Albon.
Four Eyes handler.
I can't stand Albon's handler. He's an absolute
Formerly Gasly's handler.
joke.
She doesn't like him either.
He's a joke.
And you've got Max Verstappen.
Look at his
another
little
one you
stupid
hate.
face. You just want to punch. Look at
He's
his
got
lip.
a weird mouth.
You just want to punch him.
You
Just
do.
want to punch him.
You want to punch
Anyway,
him.
let's not get sidetracked, Luke. Don't make me angry. Don't make me angry with that Max Verstappen talk. But look, the Nerang Grand Prix. Gee, make sure you jump on, have a look at the track because we've driven it in your Hyundai i30.
Yep.
Beautiful car.
Beast.
Gee whiz, that thing
Got some
sticks
grunt
to the
downhill.
Doesn't it stick to the speed limit?
Yep.
Beautiful. Check it out. We need your support. The Nerang 2021 Grand Prix.
I've got some an injury update. Carlos Sainz, he was hitting the family jewels this weekend again by a ball. He was trying to catch a ball. He missed it, hit him in the crotch. He's undergoing some thorough scrotum therapy.
Oh.
Yeah. And you've had some scrotal therapy yourself.
I have.
What does that entail?
It's a cold pack. Sitting long periods of sitting, followed by cold temperatures and Netflix. That's normally the best thing that you can do for your balls.
Do you change temperatures? Do you go from like cold to hot to try and increase blood flow area? Because, when you put cold stuff down there, the scrotum does shrink up.
Yes, Luke. That is prescribed by the experts. What you do is you have a little mini cock sauna. You have a little sauna, and then you pop it into the ice plunge pool. So you go from one to the other really quickly.
Oh, okay.
So they
Like
get
the
hot.
Wim Hof method.
Thank you.
Into the cold,
The Wim Hof. So you get the ball. They relax.
spread out.
And and then you surprise them. You say, fellas, guess what? Guess what's going to happen here?
Surprise.
You're going to go straight. I'm going to plonk you little plums. You sweet little plums are going straight in this ice bath. And in they go. And and then it just tightens up.
Yep.
And that's the best thing you've got to do for your plums.
There you go.
Do it. I mean, even if you don't have an injury, I
Do it at
beg
home
you,
this weekend.
do it just in the privacy of your
Not
home.
too hot a sauna. You could.
Don't scorch
It has
them.
to be warm.
Yeah.
Like
Put your elbow.
elbow.
General rule is with testicles, pop your elbow in first.
Hmm.
If you like that, if that's comfy, pretty sure the boys will like it as well.
Yeah. There you go. Scrotal therapy 101. Adam Effing.
You're welcome. Kimi Raikkonen. We need to check out what Kimi is doing right now because we have the porthole, Luke. The Kimi Raikkonen porthole into his world.
Yes.
We're going to check out what he's doing right now in Russia. Shall we do it?
Sure.
Okay.
I'm Kimi Räikkönen, and the home of vodka. I love vodka. Oh, yeah. Okay. Kimi Räikkönen. Tragic news. I can't believe Speckled Jim passed away. Oh, man. I really need to call those fellas at Effing One Podcast and tell them how much Speckled Jim meant to me. Such a good drinking buddy. Oh boy, he could really put away that vodka. Oh, Speckled Jim. You delicious fuck. Oh, God rest, little fella. God rest. I'm gonna have a drink for you right now, big guy. I'm just about to hit a practice session. Well, actually, no, I finished my practice session, haven't I? Yeah, I'm gonna sit here and get fucking wasted. With some top-level Smirnoff. Yeah. Hey, asshole, you. Yeah. For the mayor guy. Bring me a bottle of Smirnoff now. Hey! Talking to you! Smirnoff! You! Bring it here now. Bring the bottle. Bring the whole bottle. Bring the bottle.
Valtteri Bottas just came in and he took it all.
You motherfucker, you come here, I'm gonna punch you in the face. Yeah, take that!
Ow!
Yeah.
Jeez, you got better at punching.
Shut up! You! Don't! Say that! You asshole!
I have a family.
Shut up! Stop talking!
And that was
At home with
Kimi. Oof.
Your voice is on fire. It's beautiful.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
He's a passionate man. He loves his vodka, and he's at the home of vodka. You gotta respect that.
Of course you do.
Dude or douchebag, Luke, it's time to play Dude or
Douchebag.
Is he a dude or
is he a douchebag?
bag? Douchebag, dude or douchebag. Sebastian Vettel.
Oh.
Luke, compute this formula into your little hot pocket. Punch in the codes, punch in the facts, punch in the stats. Is Sebastian Vettel a dude or a douchebag?
Well, going by our interactions off this podcast,
Yes.
I would say he's an inappropriate douchebag, but seeing him, meeting him, all that stuff, he's got a great sense of humour. I would say he's a dude. In my opinion, dude.
He's a dude.
Around when it was Mark Webber days, I'd say he's an absolute fuckwit douchebag. But since then, he's mellowed out. We've seen a different side to him, especially with the Australian media. We did kind of portray the evil Sebastian Vettel, but when I went to Europe, watched Swiss TV, the different angle they gave of Sebastian visiting sick kids in hospital, having a great sense of humour. I'm like, oh, this guy's actually all right. You won't see that in Australian media, so I would consider him a dude.
Luke, with your formula, a dude. Let me just put my stats into the
Your
dude
input?
or douchebag, the dudo-meter.
Fucking hell.
Oh, and it's come out. Let's have a look. Oh, there is... Yep, okay. Well, let me just justify this because Sebastian Vettel has a lot of time for us at the F1 podcast. He always makes himself available. He's very busy. Yes, he's a bit sick in the head. He's a sick fuck. But, you know, he has calmed down a lot, like you said. He used to be an absolute douchebag. Now that he's losing, he's a lot more likable. When he's winning, he is a tosser.
Bit of a brat.
He's a brat. When he's losing, I feel slightly sorry for him
Oh.
that, you know, people don't think he's the driver that he was.
I wonder if you'll ever feel that way about Max.
No. I'll always hate him. No matter what happens. So I would also say great sense of humour. Very funny man. Very private man.
What was his favourite Monty Python movie?
Life of Brian.
Life of Brian. Good
Life
choice.
of Brian. Good choice. We had a chance to chat to him in the paddock, didn't we, Luke? A nice little one-on-one.
You did.
Well, we did. I did. I'm going to say he's a dude. He is a dude.
Bonafide, certified, F1 podcast, dude.
Put the stamp on it.
Stamp.
Stamped dude. Sebastian Vettel. Next week, we are going to feature Charles Leclerc.
Oh. Chuck.
Yep. Chuck. And I think I know exactly how that's going to go.
He's a sweetheart.
He's a fucking dude. But let's not preempt anything.
No.
Let's not give it away.
It could all change. He could murder a child.
Thank you. Or even worse, one of our cocks.
Oh, jeez.
One of our speckled
One of our
gems.
24. That's all we've got left.
Yep.
It's his legacy.
Yep.
The speckled legacy.
The speckled legacy. It lives on at the moment. It lives on. Before we go, Luke, did you want to mention anything before you get into this assortment of treats that your mother, Mrs. Luke, has laid out for us?
I just want to say hi to Mum.
Hi, Mrs. Luke, and thank you so much for being a fill-in for Dan Ricciardo last week. We promised big things the previous podcast. Well, when I say we, I mean I.
You.
I did promise big things.
Yep.
I did say that we're going to have Dan Ricciardo on the podcast. We do have a contact with the Renault Formula One racing team.
That's actually true.
That is true. That's probably the only true thing we've said in the last half an hour. And he was booked up. He gets booked up very, very early, so we couldn't get to him. But what we did have is a very, very competent replacement in your mother.
Yep.
Mrs. Luke, what a delight. What a woman. That's the first time I've spoken to
It is.
your mum.
Yeah.
And she's currently in Western Australia, camper van.
She's making her way into South Australia soon.
Is she?
Yep.
On the Nullarbor?
Mm-hmm. On the Nullarbor, yes.
Well, she hits us like probably Sejuna. Should we along
Maybe.
the Great Australian Bight there somewhere?
Yes, she's
Make
been to
her
the
way-
Bight.
Yep.
She's seen
Okay.
some whales down there.
Very nice spot.
So, hi, Mum.
Hi, Mrs. Luke.
Thanks for the spread.
Thanks for talking to us last week.
She's very good at Russian food.
What a woman. Yes, cabbage.
A lot.
Your mother.
Everything's just cabbage based.
But the layers of cabbage, the things you can do with cabbage, Luke, it's surprising.
It is. The smell isn't. It's the
No,
same smell.
It's the same smell, whatever you dish up.
Just hot
But I never thought you could make sweets
with
from cabbage. But that's. I look forward to nibbling on that.
The trick of the trade with Mum. She knows her sweets, especially if it's cabbage based.
What a woman. And what a race we've got coming up. Thank you, Mrs. Luke. Thank
We
you,
do.
Lukey Luke.
I've got a couple of things
Oh, please.
we need to talk about. Briefly, forgot to mention before, Turd Championship.
Oh, the Turd Championship.
Nothing's really changed much.
Let's
Russell.
We need to just we need to explain the Turd Championship. It's the reverse because we celebrate the best drivers, don't we? All the time. They get all the kudos.
We celebrate the
The
shit drivers.
Shittest drivers.
Yeah.
It's the reverse grid. It's where you would be if you were trying to be bad.
You're the winningest loser.
Yes, that's the best way to describe it. Who's the winningest loser?
Yeah.
Who's the loser that's the worst?
So if you get a race win, like Sebastian Vettel did, you get 25 championship points.
Yes.
If you come dead last, you get nothing. Not with this podcast.
No, it's the reverse.
Yep, we give you negative 25 points. So therefore you win the shit championship.
Correct.
So the winner of last weekend's, and it's the first time he's finished dead last,
Yep.
is George Russell.
George Russell, Turd
Negative
Championship.
25 points for him. On the second step of the turd podium is Sergio Perez.
Oh,
For he had a
well
failure.
earned. Well earned.
And third, thanks to Daniel Kvyat's torpedo, Kimi Raikkonen takes the third place on the turd podium for Singapore. The championship stands as Kubica on negative 189. Russell, negative 157. He's jumped third place. Romain Grosjean, negative 155. Magnussen is 118 in the negatives. So Haas, Williams, bottom of the Constructors' Championship, top of the Turd Championship. Drivers fighting it out
Wow.
for who is the shittest driver.
Who is
this
going to
year.
be? And that's a trophy you want to have if you're a shit driver.
We have to do predictions.
We do have to do predictions.
Because-
We do. I feel like I've tried to wrap up too early, Luke.
That's all right. You always peak too soon.
Oh, I do. I really do.
Yeah.
So let's get into predictions. What's the current state of affairs, big
So
fella?
before Singapore, you were 14 up.
14 up, and then I think you might have come back a little
I
bit.
come back with a couple,
Did you?
and now you're only 10 up.
That is
still
a
significant.
big, but still a big whack. Out
There
of
was
my
a
league.
couple there that if there wasn't incidents and accidents, I would have jumped you by a couple more.
Gee.
But yeah, so that's I'm coming back. I'm not confident. I still got a lot of work to do.
Do have some work to do, but this could be. I mean, you've got momentum now. It's all about momentum.
Yep.
You got a wet sail coming home.
So you're going to Mercedes. Who are you going for Mercedes?
I'm going to have to say Bottas. He does love this track.
Bottas. I was going to go Bottas too, so I will go Lewis Hamilton.
Oh, you're going to mix it up. You're going
I
to throw
have
caution to
to.
the wind. You kind of need to.
Because he's a 5-time world champion.
Yeah.
Bottas is very good in Sochi.
Very smooth. Very smooth.
I would have gone for Bottas.
Had I not have said
Yes.
yeah.
Ferrari, Leclerc or Vettel.
Because you have the advantage of letting me go first, so then you can just pick you can pick me off. Huh? So a little advantage here for you. That's fine.
I mean, I can go first. If you want me to.
No. It's fine. This is why I've got an excuse if I do lose.
You're 10 points up.
Ferrari, I'm going to say Leclerc.
I'm going to go Leclerc.
Mm-hmm.
Red Bull Racing.
Red Bull, Max Verstappen. Bit of a
Max-
no-brainer.
Yeah, I'm going to go Max.
Albon. Did you see Albon's like 2 seconds off the pace in practice?
Yeah.
Sorry, 2 seconds off Max's pace.
Yeah.
Anyway,
McLaren.
McLaren, I'm going to have to say... Oh, gee, this is a tough call. These two have been tough to separate all year. I'm going to say... Oh, no, I keep changing my mind.
I've already written mine down.
Have you?
Yeah. So you can't say that I...
Cheating. All right. I'll go the Spaniard.
I'm
Yep.
going Lando.
Are you? I thought you'd do that. Bugger.
Renault.
Dan.
Yeah. Dan for me too. Racing Point.
Perez.
Perez. Yeah, Perez. I just can't do Stroll. Toro Rosso.
Toro Rosso. Gasly.
Gasly.
Yep. He's been a bit of form. He's driving okay.
I'm going to go Kvyat just
I
purely
think-
because it's his home Grand Prix.
That's true. But I think Gasly's finding the pressures off a little bit at the moment.
Oh, yeah, he's relaxed.
Driving, yeah, he's
more
freer
fluid.
to drive.
Alfa Romeo.
Kimi.
Wow. I will go Gio just because he's got a bit of momentum. Haas.
Magnussen.
Yeah, I've got Max.
Yeah.
Williams.
George Russell.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
And our last one,
Yes.
our favourite end of the Grand Prix
Yes.
of podcasting
Yep.
of each one. Fuck, marry, kill.
Fuck, marry, kill. Oh.
So you get a fuck one, marry one, kill one. You choose 3 people who I have to decide whether I'm going to give them sweet, sweet love, give them the rest of my life
Okay.
in a betrothed, beautiful marriage, and the other one I'm going to brutally massacre.
All right. Toto Wolff.
Ooh.
Cyril Abitable.
Oh.
And Gunther Steiner.
Oh. Gunther Steiner,
Yeah.
I would, as much as I love his potty mouth and cursing,
Yep.
he's a man of my own heart. I'm going to have to murder him.
Oh,
I'm sorry to everyone.
why?
Actually, no. No, fuck it.
Yeah.
No, actually, no, I'm going to kill him. No,
Okay.
I'm going to brutally massacre
yeah.
him. Because I can't kill Toto,
You can't.
and he'd be the only one I'd fuck because he's a pretty man. He needs to work out his ass a bit more. He's a bit flat.
Yeah.
I don't know how he sits down.
Yeah.
And I'm going to marry Cyril Abitable.
What?
Yeah. That Frenchman, he's suave. He's a good communicator.
The hair.
That accent, he's good.
He's so... And he doesn't shut up.
Yeah.
You going to marry
I'm
that?
going to marry that. I'm going to put something in his mouth and shut him up.
Little croissant.
You talk too much, boy.
Wow.
But yeah, I mean, I couldn't. I don't think I could get aroused with Gunter. That's why Toto steps up.
I would marry Wolf any day of the week.
Yeah, it'd be a good marriage.
Yeah. I'd probably...
But I just think
I'd fuck Cyril just to see
Cyril's
what it's
just
like
had
to make
fun.
love to a monkey. Okay,
there goes our contact at Renault.
Oh no! No wonder they're not answering our phone calls.
Yep. So for you, I'm gonna go.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes. Yes. I'm waiting.
David Coulthard,
David Coulthard. Okay.
Paul di Resta,
Paul di Resta.
Johnny Herbert.
Johnny Herbert.
I have featured Johnny before, but I think with these 3, it's a good combo.
I'm going to kill Paul di Resta. Straight up.
What if he just says medium?
Because that's why.
Okay.
Because it annoys
That's
the
why.
hell out of me.
Right.
He's annoying. And he's annoyingly tall for a Formula One driver.
All lean.
I'm going to... I think I'm going to...
This is such a serious
This
part
is
of the
such
podcast.
the most serious part of the podcast,
The only
Luke.
part we actually put.
I'm gonna fuck Johnny Herbert.
Oh,
Real good. Real good.
He's going to remember your name the next morning.
Yep. I'm gonna make him shout out my name. And I'm gonna marry Coulthard.
Oh,
I think Coulthard's
purely for money?
well. I just I've always
He's
liked
a shrewd
Coulthard.
businessman as well.
I've always liked Coulthard.
Okay.
As a driver, he was always my favourite driver.
Yeah.
Because there was no Australians in the
See, I was a Schumacher fan, so it's general I had to hate anyone at McLaren.
yeah. No, but I love that old McLaren. The look of that car.
That was a great looking
It's a
car.
sexy car
You were,
Red.
I was annoyed that it was winning, but I'm like, it's a good car.
with the West signage on it, and the colour was great. The colour scheme was pretty fancy. Good car. Yep. So there we go. I'm glad we did that. That was fun.
Thanks.
It's always nice to see what it'd be like if you made love or killed or married another man. Now, so look, check us out on Instagram, Facebook, and say
Twitter
g'day.
sphere?
Yeah, Twitter sphere. Tell us what you like, what you don't like, and get on board the Formula One train because we're heading off to Sochi, baby.
Yeah.
I'll see you soon for the wrap up, big guy.
Enjoy.